Well, good day to you. Hello, my name's Dawn, and welcome to one of my channels, New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus. Do click on my playlist and have a look at all the different content on my channel. And I think we should get going straight away today because we've got a lot to get through. And the first thing we're going to do today is check out this. So the title of this live, Still Clearing Up After the Hurricane. I've finally got round to picking up all the biggest trees and big branches that came down in the hurricane. And I went round and picked up every single pine cone. Now, you did hear me saying before about literally my whole land was covered in pine cones. The only areas not affected was the lower olive grove, but we have got thousands, I'm not joking, thousands of pine cones just on our land, let alone all around us. So there are so many of them, we ran out of containers to put them in because I left them out to get dry because obviously I want to use them. But we've got so many. I said to Mike, I don't think it's even worth us burning wood this year. We want to get rid of these pine cones, but use them. So, yeah, I guess I could make some Christmas decorations for the whole world out of them. So I've still got a lot more to sort out. I did rake up some leaves as well. I raked up some leaves. So I've got what I would call the worst of it done. We can now walk around our ground. We haven't done anything with our house, which was a pool. So I've done most of it. I went round emptying. It wasn't so much rain as wind, but there was rain as well. So I've gone around emptying out pots that got overfilled with water. And then lo and behold, I was on top of it all. Last night we had horrendous rainstorms, and this is really quite unheard of for this time of year. But we had horrendous thunder, lightning, hailstones, which is very rare anyway. And so last night we'd just finished mopping up. We'd just got all our towels dry because the water's damage has been coming in through our sun lounge. It's literally all the walls were raining with water coming in. And we have done basic repairs of the roof where the water's been coming in, but we've never had the money to fully do it properly because, as I said before, every time something comes up that we can do it, we've got a little bit of funding behind us, something else goes wrong and that jumps the queue. So we haven't really done that. And as I said before, we've still got tons of mould in our bedroom. I'm laughing because you have to laugh. What else can you do if you can't deal with something? So, as I say, last night we had horrendous thunder and lightning and so much rain that the towels were all down by sort of this morning. Micah got them all up. They were sodden. You couldn't even carry them. They were so sodden. And now we keep a stash of old towels for such purposes if you ever need to mop up things rather than throw away older towels. And they were all soaking wet, and we've run out of towels now. They're all too sodden. So, yes. Oh, no, washing machine's playing up before you say, why don't you spin them? Our washing's coming out with like long black lines on it, like when your washing goes round, and sometimes you get those dust lines, don't you? But we're not really sure what's causing that. And it has been playing up for a while because it started to jump all around the room. The washing machine. So that is, I know there can be causes like you've put some really big things in. No, we haven't. We've just put normal small sort of t-shirts and shorts and things like that in. I know that, but to me that's when a washing machine starts to go a bit crazy. So it's coming out with long black dirt lines on things. It is clean, We've cleaned the inside, but it's still going out. So that's going to be another thing to think about in the future. Okay, so let's get on. Let's start today with this. Okay, so our Knack's Hacks, Facts and Stats today, it's going to be DIY type hints today, DIY. So let's begin with that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hacks today for you, so a bumper edition. The first one is loosen tight screws in wood by dipping a little vinegar on the heads of the screws. When the vinegar penetrates the threaded sections, they will become easier to unscrew. So that's a pretty good tip for you. Just put a little bit of vinegar on the head of the screw and let it penetrate. The next one is to remove a tight raw plug. Put a fairly tight screw in about halfway and then pull the screw and plug out with pliers. That is something I have done before. That really does work because you're wedging it in and then pulling the two out together. The next one, a saw cuts more smoothly if the cutting edge is rubbed with soap. So give that a go if you're having trouble there. The next hack is when drilling hard metal, instead of oil, add a drop of turpentine to the drill point for lubrication. Oh, I've just got an alert comes up because I've got my camera on. It's saying all sorts of people could now be watching you. I would like that. That would be lovely. Oh dear. Okay, the next one. To stop a drill sliding over and scratching ceramic tiles, stick a piece of plaster tape on the tile and drill through that. Try this when knocking a nail into plaster too for less chipping. Yes, that again is something else I do. And the last one for today. Keep a few mothballs in your toolbox. They help absorb damp and prevent metal from rusting. A magnet is also useful to keep in there to keep your screws together. Well, I'm going to tell you also to put your mothballs, if you've got a gardening type tote bag or something you carry around your trowel and small hand tools, put mothball in there. And also they talk about a magnet to keep small screws together. Well, if you do arts and crafts and use pins or needles, then you want a magnet handy for that. Okie doke, let's have a look. We have some comments. We have Stitching It Up, Capturing Country Life. Hey, good tips. Thank you very much. Guys, do go over and check out Stitching It Up, Capturing Country Life. Go over there and don't forget, add a comment, tell them how you heard of the channel, and also don't forget to subscribe while you're over there. So go over and check out Alyssa's channel over there. And she does have a second one as well. If you want to pop that in the comments, Alyssa. I know it's Dreamland, but I know there's a number after it and I don't have that. So if you want to drop that in the chat. Thank you, Dawn. You're very welcome, most welcome. Okay, let's move on. As I say, I've got a lot to get through today and let's do this. Okay, so yes, we are still reading from my after dinner speeches book, The Fun Speeches. And this speech was from Peter Dickinson, who is a composer and pianist and professor of music at Keele University. And he says, My father, the late Frank Dixon, who pioneered the development of contact lenses, was walking along the beaches at Lytham St Anne's, that's in England. The town is on the estuary of the River Ribble in Lancashire, and at the Lytham end of it, there are usually several small boats moored on the shore. It was early one Sunday morning, and my father was looking to see what the tide had brought in. As it happened, the previous night had been memorable because of a particularly intense storm. So it was very memorable. I don't know what I said just then. Memorable. Ahead of him, he saw a man with some rope and what appeared to be some planks of very good quality looking wood. Since my father liked picking up things on the beach himself, he congratulated the apparently successful beachcomber. "Oh, you've got some fine timber there, haven't you?" "Timber? That's my boat." Dreamland Soundscapes. I didn't know that bit. There you go. So do go and check out Lisa's other channel, Dreamland Soundscapes. So go and check that out. Okay, what shall we do now? Well, I'm thinking let's go on to Monday's current quote corner, and I will be changing these up next month. Yes, let it go. We have Steve and Tina Jewel here. Hello to you. And let's go over and check out Steve and Tina Jewel's channel. And as I always say, while you're there, if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tell them how you heard of their channel. Okay, let's check out this. Oh, I can't have done that segment for a while because I was like, oh, I've forgotten that tune. Yes, I don't do everything every single week. Some things I tend to do more than others. Oh, Steve's in hospital. Oh, Tina, what's happened? Oh, what's happened to Steve? Goodness, do let us know if it's nothing too personal. Goodness me. Okay, so arts and crafts. So I'll show you what I was doing yesterday through the torrential storm. Now, I can't do what most of you do on, say, a dark day or rainy day. A lot of you will sit and cozy up. Maybe you'll watch a film or TV or YouTube, something like that. Well, we live on solar, so that's not the best of days to use power. So I can't do that. Some of you would do your crafts or your stitching. I really wanted to try and get some more cross stitch done yesterday, but I can only do that in really great light. I've tried all sorts of different lamps and everything. They are no good. They are no good for me at all. So I need good daylight. So I can't do that. But I did manage to do, I got some stones. Now, I've been doing sorting, decluttering, and I've come to things that I want to keep, but I keep thinking like these little stones. I've set up my indoor greenhouse again, and I wanted to use the little stones to put next to the takeaway boxes, which I germinate my seeds in and grow indoors with no lights or anything, no heat. And So I thought, right, let's get on with this. I didn't need to see like fine cross stitching. So I've got some, I've used these before. These are little like transfer letters. You rub them down individually, and I want to just use them up. I don't want to throw them away. There's not tons of them left, hence why you might see some funny letters, because I make them out of bits of other letters. And what I do those, and then I put clear nail varnish over the top. So if they get wet, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to put them by each of my little takeaway boxes where I germinate. I put the lids on, my seeds grow from now. They grow. And I thought the little stones, I've done some great big ones before for outdoors, but I thought these would be good inside and they won't take up too much room. A couple I'd already painted, so I just stuck on those. I've got a whole little box full. I found a red one I'd painted, so of course that's got to be tomato. You can probably see the clear nail varnish. I don't go over the whole stone, just the letters. As I say, if you see funny looking letters, it's because I don't have every letter I need, so I just use what I've got. I don't spend ages on them because they're just for my benefit, not for people to say, hey, that letter's not straight or anything like that. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. I'm going to just do it my way. Oh, Dreamland says there. We'll read what Tina says in a minute. Tina's put something, I can see a message. So there's onion, done oriental spinach, because I've got some seeds of that. Did I show you chive? A little chive one. It's not really a letter C. This one, I don't think you've seen that one. Kohlrabi. So just old bits of stone. Got lettuce and beans. So there's a few different ones. The seeds I'm going to sow first of all. So if you keep watching my channel, you will see how I set that up. And I've moved it somewhere else for now. I've moved the location of where I set it up, but you'll see that. And I do explain, if you're a new viewer to my channel, where I normally set it up. But yeah, no lights, no heat. I only have one real fire in the middle of my house, and that is all the heating we have. Okay, let's go and have a look what's going on here with Steve. His comments are turned off. Okay, he tried to connect here, but it's turned off, right? I have to look back because I can't remember your channel word for word. Stitching It Up, Capturing Country Life has now come back as Dreamland Soundscapes. You'll see I do that sometimes on your channel because I know you now know my other channel name. Right, Tina's saying Steve had injured his knee yesterday and ruptured his tendon again. Oh my goodness, poor Steve. He's going in for surgery today. I don't want to sound like too uncaring, but I'm glad it's that. I was worried it was heart or something like that. So I know it's not a good thing, but it could be worse, though. That must be in agony. Oh, Dreamland's asking to know your Dreamland. Dreamland's asking, Tina, is he resting well in a lot of pain? Oh, Tina says no pain. Well, that's good news. Dreamland Soundscapes likes my stones. And Dreamland Soundscape says, oh, well, that's no good. That's good. No pain, just inconvenient for sure. It's going to be a permanent thing now, Tina, once you've done something like that a couple of times in the same place. Tina's saying he got bumped yesterday, but he's on list today for surgery unless something happens. Oh, give him all our best wishes, Tina. And thank you for coming on and letting me know. I do appreciate that very much. Dreamland says, okay, I thought it was last night. Hope he has a quick recovery. And Bacca's stitching it up. If you want me to say both your channel names, stitching it up. Capturing Country Life says, I have to get busy. Turning this one off, okay, but I have the other channel running. And now Bacca's Dreamland Soundscapes. Yes, I try to watch some of this channel too to help out. Bless you. Bless you. Much appreciated. Okay, so all go over onto Steve and Tina's channel and do wish Steve the best, all the best, and we'll carry on to this. Okay, so I would like to for today change this segment's title. Instead of Sow Grow Mow and Ho Ho Ho, I would like to call it today Sow Grow No Mow. That's not because we don't have grass. We don't have grass, but because today I'm talking about natural wild flowers. So of course, if you want them, do not mow. It's like our hedge. We cut some of our hedge where we can sit and see out, but we leave some of the hedge as well. So this is the same with our land. We cut grass when we eventually get some, maybe January, we might have some grass. We cut that and then I use it on my hugelkultur beds, on my raised beds as a nice topping. And then when we get the sun, it obviously stops any water from drying out from the sun. But we do leave a lot of our areas wild. And you will see, I did a short today. One of my shorts today was poppies. And those poppies are all over large parts of my land, fields and fields of poppies. And you do occasionally see an intro or an outro with different pictures of the poppies. That is all from my garden. So do leave some areas, if you can, for wildlife and particularly wild flowers. So I thought today I would share with you in Cyprus what wild flowers we get in November. I think I'll do December as well because there's not a lot. And the first one in my book of Cyprus wildflowers is the wood daisy or margarita. Now, I know a lot of you call things different. So this is that there. Some of you will say daisies, but that's the actual type. And it says this perennial is one of the non-bulbous plants to appear after autumn rains and is usually propagated by seeds. The name daisy comes from day's eye. That's where you get the word daisy from. So named because the flower closes at night, concealing the bright yellow disc at its centre, the sun, and opens again in the morning. The flower also closes in cloudy weather to protect it from any rain or dew which would wet the pollen and prevent pollination. So the next one I'm going to show you is we get a lot of these, Jack's cow or friar's cow, and we call that kukla. Kukla is Greek for hood. A hood, so kukla, that's what we call it in Cyprus, and we have tons of these, and that is a picture of kukla there, and it does change its appearance as it grows. And this says this small perennial with its heart-shaped leaves and spotted stalk has small tubulous culm which produces many new shoots. As it pushes its way through the ground, it produces a green and white hood, which with exposure to the sun turns brown and then purple. That's when we normally spot them first, and then it withers away. Its name, friar's cow, which resembles the hood sometimes worn by a friar. And then there's some more. there's all the uses of different plants in here as well, and where you find them. And then the next one is the Persian cyclamen. I'm sure some of you will know cyclamen. A lot of you buy these as flowers, but they are actually wild. They are wild. The heart-shaped and finely marked leaves first appear in November. They are dark green in colour with greyish patches and white lines resembling lacework. This plant was also found in former times to have medicinal properties and was frequently used to treat rheumatism and arthritis. Now it is used in Cyprus by fishermen for bait. And they have a little poem about it as well. So tell me if you grow these or buy these in your garden centre. They are actually wild plants. So if you have those, that's December. So that comes in December. Let me just check the chat. Where are we? Dreamland Soundscape says, have a good day. If I'm not back in time to watch all the live. Thank you very much. Then we have crown or poppy anemone. Now this, I have hundreds of them come up every spring or December, January. That's kind of our winter stroke spring. I have so many videos on them because they are so pretty, and we have all the different colours in masses of areas. So you don't have one colour, one colour, one colour. We have so many colours. If you want to look, I'm sure you can find footage of them. I have videos everywhere on those. I think I've got a playlist of wildflowers, so they'll be in there. And it says, this perennial is very prolific in Cyprus. It certainly is. The white variety appears first in December on lowlands and gradually extend to the highlands. Later on, different colours emerge, such as pink, red, lilac and purple, the blooms of which will last until April. Now, I've actually pressed some of these before. Where's my picture? Where's my picture where I've pressed them? Oh, it's up there. It's up there. I was like, I'll hang it somewhere. They're up there. I've pressed pictures, pressed loads of them to make a picture. The flower has 5 to 8 petals protected by 3 leaves when in bud. The centres of the flowers often have different colours. They do. There are numerous stamens with pink, red or violet filaments and purple anthers. The flower is very sensitive to light, opening in the sun and closing at dusk. Each stem carries a single flower, 3 to 7 centimetres in diameter, being very short on dry, hard ground, but reaching 25 centimetres on damp or cultivated land. The leaves of the crown anemone are long and feathery and appear immediately after the first rains, several weeks before the flower emerges. The plant is propagated by its roots. I have transplanted quite a few. Location, grassy slopes from sea level to 1,000 metres. And then it says different areas in Cyprus where you'll find them. And I think we have one more for December. Yes, we have one more for December. And this is white henbane. White henbane. There. I showed you the anemones, did I? I can't remember if I showed you the picture of those or not. They are beautiful. Very nice. But now we're doing white henbane. There. And this says, this pale green branched and trailing plant is covered with long white hairs, making it very sticky to touch. It sometimes grows erect to a height of 20 to 80 centimetres or more. The flowers are pale green in colour, tubular, with a very pale yellow throat. And then it says, both plants contain a poison a substance from which a drug is obtained. In ancient times, the plant was well known for its narcotic qualities, principally in painkillers and tranquilizers. Crushed leaves are still used in Cyprus as a balsam to reduce pain. Asthma sufferers have been advised to mix the dry leaves of the plant with ordinary tobacco and smoke it like a cigarette. The seeds are very poisonous. So that's what's growing soon, very wild plants in Cyprus. Okay, what should we do now? Let's do this. Okay, so we will start first of all with my other channel, which is Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. So I'll just pop that up there so you can see and what's being posted on that channel. Do go and check it out, and don't forget to subscribe while you're over there. Okay, let me see. I've just posted there. So you will have a declutter video, reorganize and make money, and you will see how you can buy things with no money and make money on the things you buy. Sounds confusing? Go and watch the video. So it's declutter, reorganize and make money. And we've got books, planning tips, language learning tips and more. And prior to that, we had another funny signs and sayings video. If you like those, you will see I post different ones on my community page on my main channel, New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus. But on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, I have a whole playlist called Fun, and there you will find full-length videos of funny signs and other funny videos. So do check it out. And another video I do just want to mention there was part 3 or episode 3 of me talking about my childhood. And that one is titled A New Home and a Bad Accident. So do go and check that out. Some of them are quite funny episodes and some are sadder times, and some are a mixture from happy and sad. So, okay, let's look at what's on New Beginnings. And just seeing where you're up to. So you've just had Operation Day, Mike's first surgery. Do go and check that out. The first of 4 operations, and also because the hospital is so far away and I don't drive, I'm not allowed to drive, we have to go and stay over there. So we had 1 night stay because Mike couldn't drive, and we had to go back again the next day to the hospital. So it was no purpose of someone getting us and taking us back, then picking us up again, taking us back backwards and forwards. So we have to stay over there, and we're actually going to stay, because of that, we're going to stay 2 nights possibly for the next operations. So that's that. And you also got a tour of the room that we stayed in when we were released from the hospital. So you will see that. And it was a really good room for the most basic of price that we could find. It was a really lovely place. So that's the good news, at least. It wasn't somewhere that we wouldn't want to stay again and would have to. And then prior to that, you had footage of a beer festival and a wine festival in Cyprus. And then coming up on this channel, we have a garden tour, because I feel you haven't seen much of my garden lately. So it's garden tour, food forest, seeds harvested, and then sad news about my beetroot. Something happened to my beetroot while we were away for that 1 night. And I think I say in the video, typical, I leave my home for 1 night and I had this beautiful, beautiful beetroot, big leaves, and I've got that footage, and then later on you see the beetroot. What happened when we come home, just by being away one night and me not looking at everything and checking for bugs. I prevent bugs rather than deal with bugs. But if you're not there to look at your plants, what can you do? And for me, beetroot is what I call a double food, because you can eat the beetroot, but I also eat the leaves. So if you didn't know that, you can eat beetroot leaves, radish leaves, carrot leaves. You can also eat zucchini leaves, but you have to peel all the vines off of the leaves. So I don't tend to actually eat those. But yes, do check. Eat all your leaves. Just cut them off. Stir fry them is what I do with them, in a little bit of olive oil, and they are really nice. They will reduce tremendously. So pick loads and think, wow, that's too much, I'll never eat all that. They will reduce a lot. So do that. And then I've also got goats and cats video coming up, and some more of my garden. So do stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and then you'll know when the video's up. Okay, let's move on, and let's do this. Okay, so I'm just grabbing out Bird Book, that you all seem to really enjoy me talking about birds. So this time we will talk about feeding birds. And the book says, no animal can survive without the fuel required for growth, for powering muscles, and for generating warmth. After finding enough food to keep healthy, a bird has to collect extra food to rear a family. Sufficient amounts are needed to sustain the male through energetic courtship and vigorous defence of territory, and the female through the manufacture and incubation of eggs. Later parents must find food for the nestings. Feeding is the most important part of any animal's life. The kind of food that a bird eats and how it eats are the keys to understanding the way it lives. We should avoid judging species by our own standards, condemning starlings, for example, as gluttons for quickly clearing the bird table, or blackbirds as bullies for stealing a thrush's food. Both these habitats are natural strategies for obtaining the daily diet. A close look at the feeding habits of garden birds reveals how each one makes a living out of natural food sources, how it adapts its habits to make the best use of supplies, and how you can help it by putting out extra food in bird feeders. Looking at the size and shape of a bird's bill provides a good clue to its diet. Starlings, blackbirds, and gulls have general purpose bills that enable them to take advantage of a variety of foods, and that have led to their abundance in towns and the countryside. Other birds have bills shaped for specific purposes that limit the types of foods they can eat. Finches, for example, generally have conical bills for cracking seeds. But even among garden finches, there are differences in bill size and shape that are reflected in their choice of food. The goldfinch and the siskin are particularly adept to probing deep into the heads of thistles to extract seeds because of their slender bills. Other finches have to tear open the seed heads or wait for the seeds to become loose. The greenfinch, with its short, broad bill, eats the large, exposed seeds of cereals, elm, bramble, groundsel, and burdock. It often picks fallen seeds from the ground. The hawfinch, which you can often overlook in gardens because of its retiring nature, has a large bill with a powerful jaw muscle that can crack the stones of cherries and sloes, but it also eats the seeds of elms and other trees. The bullfinch has a short, sharp-edged bill that is used effectively for plucking buds, deftly crushing and peeling seeds and fruits, and even shelling small snails. However, it finds picking up loose seeds difficult. In contrast, the chaffinch and bramblings have long bills for pecking at seeds on the ground, but they are unable to deal with seed heads. However, none of the finches has a more specialised bill than the large, odd-looking crossbill. Although the uniquely shaped bill, the ends of which are curved and cross over, is custom built for extracting seeds from cones. The design does not restrict the crossbill to a diet of conifer seeds. The bill can also be used to split open apples and remove the pips inside, or to prise bark off of tree trunks and expose insects hiding underneath. The case of the crossbill shows that within its limits, bills do allow birds to be somewhat adaptable in their feeding behaviour. The bill of a bird is a versatile organ used with amazing dexterity both in feeding and nest building, but only a few species use their feet to hold food when eating. The bullfinch husks seeds by the coordinated use of its tongue and the two halves of its bill. It never uses its feet to hold seeds. On the other hand, the goldfinch regularly uses a foot to hold birch or catkins while pecking at them. Birds of prey such as sparrowhawks and kestrels pounce on small mammals with their talons to kill them and hold on to their catch when feeding. Tits and crows use their feet, and by using their bills and feet together, will even learn to pull up a string to eat food, such as peanuts in their shells attached to the other end. So if you're lucky enough to be able to bird watch in your own garden, then of course do set up some little schemes such as these that I've mentioned, like string things, and see what birds can cope. Almost like a little bird assault course you can set up. But if you get squirrels, you'll probably find they will be first and take things. So yes, a nice little winter pastime. Sit indoors, set out all sorts of things and see what birds you get. Maybe by doing that, you will find some different birds. That would be very interesting. Okay, let's go on to something else. Let's have a go at, whoops, go the wrong way. Let's look. Yes, I'm pressing the reset button. You've heard before my complications with YouTube about copyright when music isn't copyrighted, it's free to use and so on and so forth. And now they've decided to target me with my theme tune. So I'm on over 700 videos. I don't use it every single video, but I would say probably 80% of the time I've used it. And you can't just do a copyright claim. They pass it, which they have done. They've passed it and said, yes, I'm free to use it. But every time they claim in another video I've used it, it's not the fact that I can use that music. I have to re-put in a copyright claim for every single video that I have used that music on. Now, there are two purposes for why this is happening. One is because YouTube wants you desperately to do the premium, pay for the premium YouTube. And then you can use any music. So they want me to sit there with my 700 videos going, I can't be bothered to counterclaim this 700 times where I've used the music in the past. No. But yes, I will. I can't afford to pay for premium anyway, but I wouldn't be bullied into paying for it. And I have some people that have told me they are trying premium, people who have got premium. It may not be you yet, but this is from people that do have it. They are slowly testing putting adverts on premium as well and seeing the reaction, whether people still just carry on paying for premium or whether they drop it. So a lot of people have gone on to premium quite recently because this whole thing about playing multiple adverts, and you can't block adverts, which you can do still if you know how to do it. So people are paying up for that, and now they are testing putting ads on premium because they think a lot of people don't stop subscriptions. So be warned, that may well come. The other thing is that can happen is you may find music that you are free to use. So you can use it as long as you credit the music in your video, it's free to use. But when you do a copyright claim, you will note, or maybe not, you will see they have changed the policy. You may be using music that was free to use, but at any time, the owner of that music can start charging. Now, wouldn't you think that would be from that date? Any back videos that people have used it for years would be safe, but no. So you can find free to use music, but then the owners have a right to change their mind after you've used it 700 times. Oh, it's popular. Now I'm going to charge for it. And the other thing I will say, I will remind you, is when you get a claim for the music, YouTube also wants you to can't be bothered attitude and share the money. Often it's a share deal. Oh, you can't use the music unless you share your income, or you just demonetize that video. Well, that's YouTube's game as well. They want to stop people who have started earning money to not earn their money. So there's lots of different reasons for it, lots of different reasons. So just because you've used a bit of music for years, it's been fine, there's been no problem, you might see that you might now start to get copyright strikes for free to use music. So there's that. And what I've noticed with this one particularly, the bit of music I'm particularly talking about right now, is that it is actually a false claimant. Now you will see a lot of them are Hawk. Hawk is third party. Yeah, third party called YouTube. Yeah. They work for YouTube and they just randomly pick on a piece of music you've used for a long time in lots of videos. So anything you see by Hawk is just random generated by them to pick on someone who's used music a lot of times. So it doesn't mean you can't use it, but also the name they're providing as owns the music does not own the music. They're also expecting you not to keep a record of all the copyright deals where you can use the music. So I have a Word doc. Every bit of music I ever use is in a Word doc where it says it's free to use and the owner of the music. So as soon as I get a copyright strike for music that they say I can't use, the very first thing I do is look up who they say the owner of the music is and who I've got written is the correct owner of the music. So don't be bullied. I have won lawyer courts battles with many big companies. Do not let them wear you down. That's all I can say. Do not let them wear you down. That is the game for you to give up and go, oh, I can't be bothered anymore. So some people stop doing YouTube, some people stop putting music on their videos. It enhances your video. So why you would do that, I don't know. I really don't know. So do not be bullied by these people. Now, I have got more things from the salvage tip, the dump. You will see that coming up very soon. And one of the things I've got is a big 3-drawer, what would you call it? Not a filing cabinet, it's plastic organizer, 3-drawer plastic organizer. So by getting that, I'm going to have a big sort again in this room. I've taken out the 2 shelving systems for my indoor growing. Oh, excuse me, I've got hiccups. I've taken that out, so I now have space over there. I don't like to put something there because when the shelves come back in the summer, that's obviously their place. But I've got some bits, they're not out. You know, when you have a bookcase, you want all the books to fit, for example. You don't want books piled on the top. Or you've got a little box or crate with things out. They're tidy in the crate. But I like, not minimalism, but I like things to be away in a cupboard. And I've got a couple of boxes out. So I'm going to literally do another sweep, if you like, of this room. I just like things to be, as I say, in a cupboard or in a drawer rather than in a box. I've got under my desk here, I've got a couple boxes of things. So they're together and they're organised. But as this is a 3-drawer unit, as you know, I've got my desk here where you are. You're sitting on my desk, and I've got a desk here. You can just about see the back corner of it there. So I've got a desk there. Now, I want to keep that there because when I do my lives, I'm getting my books or whatever I'm showing you is on here. That works really well. This one is only my laptop, so I do my computer work. If I'm writing, I just turn my chair around, spin round, and I do my work on this desk. So I want to keep them as this. Now, there is, I don't know if you can see, there is a space here between the wall and the desk here, and I have 2 crates there on the floor. So what I'd like to do, it's not big enough for these drawers, but what I'd like to do is move this desk down this way slightly, this one slightly there. There is room, there's about this much gap from this desk to where it meets this desk anyway. And then I think the drawers will fit here. They're lower. I think they're lower than the desk. Yes. So then it's kind of in the corner of the room. It's purple. It's not that pinky purple up there. It's more like the background of my channel name there. It's a dark purple and everything else is wood in here, really. So it'll be all right there because you won't really notice it when you come in. I was thinking, first of all, to put all my cross-stitch stuff in there because at the moment that's all just, again, on a table, all piled up, all the different thread boxes. But I think I will just put all my other bits and pieces in there. I've got a box of like what I'm currently working on. It's a box I've covered in this stuff, just sitting there, and it's what I'm working on for YouTube, all my different channels, what's happening. That would be nicer in a drawer. Then under that is another crate, so that box is sitting on a crate, and that's got all my like selfie stick and mini tripod, those kinds of things. So I think that would be nicer in a drawer. So as I say, everything's together with its same stuff, but I would rather it out of sight. So I'm thinking that's where I'm going to put it. So as I say, that is coming up in a video. I do so many salvage hauls at the dump, and I don't like to post those constantly. So sometimes you're a bit behind of what I've salvaged, because I'll post one video and then I'll do other things or catch you up on other things in my life, some different videos, and then you'll get another one. So you may be a little bit behind. Yes, I know you're definitely 2 behind on that one, because something else amazing I got last time from there. Hey, Two Doves Bees and Gardens is here. Hello, how are you doing, my friends? Nice to see you there. Guys, do go and check out Two Doves Bees and Gardens. Just trying to find there we go. And while you're over there, don't forget, subscribe to Two Doves Bees and Gardens. I was thinking about you today. One of my community posts I did, my bees and poppies. Every time I look at my bees and poppies, not my bees, the bees that come into the garden, I do think of you with my bees and poppies. Oh, and I went to a Christmas fair on Saturday, so you've got that coming up. But I thought I'd post that nearer Christmas. As it's Christmassy, and they had someone that knitted bees. They had like big ones. You see it well in the film, because I think I pick it up. They did quite a big knitted one, and then they would sit, I think in the background there's a little one that made into a keychain or something. So I did think of you then. Anything bees, I think of John and Sarah from Two Doves Bees and Gardens. We love to see the bees, yes. I was talking about my poppy field earlier. I've talked about wildflowers on my land, and with the poppies here, as long as we don't mow, we get fields of poppies here. Yeah, we get loads of poppies. Okay, I'm going to finish there today. I thank you all so much for popping on. We've had people pop in and pop out today, so that was really good fun to see you all. Don't forget, go over to Steve and Tina Jules' channel and wish Steve all the best. He's in hospital at the moment, and do go over and wish him well. And Tina, wish Tina well as well, because it's very traumatic when you've got someone in hospital. You tend to do more running around backwards and forwards and more responsible for everything on your own. So big loves to Tina as well. And I'm going to finish there. I will see you on Wednesday. So until then, as always, Meraki.